From the Ear to There Travel Studio, this is the Ear to There Disney Podcast.
The Ear to There Podcast, it's time to start the show. Be sure to hold on tight, here we go. Exploring all the different Disney destinations. Ear to There, it's time to start the fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ear to There Disney Podcast. I'm your host, Phil Gramlich. I am also the owner and the founder of Ear to There Travel, which is a Disney-specialized travel agency. It is my job to take away all of that stress, all of that anxiety, and all that time that it takes to plan a Disney trip, because, let's face it, it takes an awful lot of time. So you can focus on the fun things, like having a great time with your family and friends, and enjoying the magic. And guess what? I do everything, all of that stuff at absolutely no extra charge to you. So I will find you the best possible package or hotel price. I will take care of your fast passes, your dining reservations, transportation, special event tickets, golf tee times, recommendations for restaurants. Listen, if you want to text me while you're in the park and ask me where the closest restroom is, I do that. And I really do. And I do all of that at absolutely no extra cost to you. So let me be your guide. Let me be your sidekick. I can be the Groot to your Rocket Raccoon from Avengers Infinity War. Remember in the movie when Rocket was... You haven't seen the movie yet? Go see the movie so we can talk about it. I mean, I'm getting tired of this. It's been out for like a week. I've already seen it twice. You should go see it so I can spoil the ending for you. Okay. But still, let me be the Groot to your Rocket. I'll help you with everything at absolutely no cost to you. Actually, except there was a cost to Groot in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Now, I'm going to spoil this one, so you can jump ahead 15 seconds if you haven't seen that. But you should have seen it. It's like 5 years old. Because Groot ends up like dying at the end of that movie. But then he comes back by Guardians Volume 2, so it's okay. And I'm not going to die helping you playing your Disney trip. I'll be fine. You can find, I crack myself up. It's hilarious. You can find this podcast, my blog, my videos, or request a free, no obligation quote over at ear2theretravel.com. Okay, this is episode number 122 for the week of May 7th, 2018. Now, grab a drink, grab a snack, and as a famous tree once said, I am Groot. Okay, and I'm going to start off this show just like I start off every other numbered show, and that is with the What About Bob segment of the show. That is where Disney legend and retired Imagineer Bob Gurr comes on to answer your questions. If you don't know who Bob Gurr is, Bob designed and built many, many, many of the iconic attractions in Disneyland and Walt Disney World, including the monorails on both coasts, the Matterhorn, the People Mover cars, the Doom buggies, the Main Street vehicles, the submarines. I mean, you name it, he built it. If you have a question for Bob, you can call the voice line. That phone number is 267-551-1971. Or you could always email the question to me at phil@eartotheretravel.com, and I'll ask Bob. And like every week, the What About Bob segment is brought to you by the Waltland Bus Tour. Each and every month, Bob takes a busload of folks all around Southern California. You make stops in Glendale and Burbank and in Los Angeles, checking out all of the important sites in the history of the Disney company, but more importantly, in the life of Walt Disney. To buy tickets for the Waltland Bus Tour, just head over to www.waltland.com. Okay, here is the man, maybe the one Imagineer who gave his honest opinion about the changes over at Pirates of the Caribbean, the one, the only, Bob Gurr.
It's What About Bob? Bob Gurr, the legend, creator of the Matterhorn, the monorails and the Haunted Mansion. What about Bob, the Disney legend?
All right, was there an attraction in any of the parks that you designed that you were sad to see leave the park?
that I just, well, let's see. Well, that's kind of a complicated question. Let me see. The stuff we started to tear out. I gotta have to stop and think here because it was an ordinary business to have attractions run for some years and then take them out. So I was used to the fact that everything comes and goes, and so the come and goes was never emotional. This is the first question where I'm asking. I was sad to see it go. See, the Main Street vehicle stayed. I'd have to say the Viewliner was a temporary thing. So in other words, we knew it's going to go and then leave after a year and a half. So that was something I probably should have been sad about. But I think as the years have gone by, it had served its purpose. So it's time, so it was a temporary anyway. So, but I guess I'm emotionally attached to it from the standpoint that it was one of my favorite jobs because it was a fast little job to do. And it was the one just before the monorail. And it was a job just after things like the omnibus. So in other words, it was kind of would have been my learning curve a job of jumping ahead into a full train with a lot of engineering in it leading up to the monorail. So I'd have to say, that's probably the one. If I want to cry over it, then that's the one I would cry over.
Why wasn't it there designed to be there very long?
Well, had me get started about February of 56. Later than that. He had plans in his mind for the 1959 all-new Tomorrowland, which was going to be Submarine and Matterhorn, New Autopia, and a monorail system. So we had all this bare property in the northeast part of the park where we had a circus that wasn't any good, which was part of 56 only. So we had all this barren track out in the back. So Walt said, well, let's put another Autopia. Let's put one for little kids, let the little kids have their own Autopia. And we'll throw a motorboat in there too. And then, let's put a train in there. Trains are easy. The guy that does the railroad tracks, his name was Tony. And Walt says, yeah, Tony can lay track. Track is really, really easy to do, a railroad track. And by the way, Bobby will make a train for it. End of meeting. You want me to do a train? No further specification other than the gauge, like 30-inch gauge, So anyway, I forget what the 30-inch gauge. Yeah, it's 30-inch gauge. So I just helped myself to the design and started to build it, and it got built real quick. And because it was a quick fill-in, for that side of the park. So by the time we get to into 1958, later in 58, as we're doing major reconstruction for all of the Tomorrowland, starting with building the Matterhorn was a massive job, putting in the submarine, monorail, all of that way. We ran the Viewliner till the last minute, and then we just yanked it out, and then it became a construction zone.
Thank you to Bob for answering yet another question on the show. I love hearing stories about the Viewliner. It's one of those attractions that you don't hear much about. So it's just an amazing thing to have the guy who built the darn thing come on the show and talk about it. It's incredible. So thank you again to Bob. And now it is time for episode number 122, and it's all about the dark rides. About the dark rides. No treble. That's bad. Okay, here we go. There's a website out there. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's wikipedia.org. Otherwise known as Wikipedia. You may have heard of it. You may have used it on one or two occasions. I don't know. It's a small site. Anyway, they define the dark ride as an indoor amusement ride on which passengers aboard guided vehicles travel through specially lit scenes that typically contain animation, sound, music, and special effects. All right, so that is officially every Disney attraction ever made. But I wanted to narrow it down this week. So this week's show is all about our favorite dark rides in the Disney parks. It's not a top 10. It's not a best of. It's not a definitive list. It's just they're just the favorites of my guest and myself. Here to talk all about her favorite Disney dark rides with me is someone who still gets a little bit nervous stepping onto Snow White's scary adventures in Disneyland. My wife, Amy. Ames, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much. And a truer statement never has been made.
Listen, it is a little freaky, that ride. That's a little,
It is.
When you get to see the witch, when the evil queen turns around and she's like the old hag.
That's the part.
Like,
Yeah, you're going okay before that, right?
Yeah. It's,
like Snow White, and you're hanging out, you see the dwarfs, and then that moment when she spins around, you're like, whoa, this is not kidding around.
No, it's downright still a little scary.
Definitely.
Jack, our son Jack,
he was
terrified.
so scared.
Hates that ride.
I felt so bad for him.
I know. All right, well, thank you for coming back on, and this should be
no
a fun one to
problem.
record. We have, I have to let the listener know, we have finally a 2-mic setup
It's
in
so
the recording
exciting.
studio. Amy's got her own mic. She doesn't know what to do with herself over there. In the past, we've shared a mic, so we kind of go back and forth on Lean In. But I got a new mic, and we figured it out today, and here we are. It's fun.
Yes, we have to try to not cut each other off.
Yeah, because now we can be loud at the same time.
Who can out loud the other one?
And we can't really look at each other because we have to talk into the mic, so I have to keep like glancing over at you.
Right, I have a straight shot to you.
We're like a radio. It's like a radio show now.
Oh, it is.
I feel like I'm in a radio studio. It's
I feel
pretty cool.
very fancy.
It's very fancy. Okay, let's get started. Since you're the guest in your own home, but it's my studio,
Correct.
the Ear to There Travel Studio, which I contemplated calling it the Ham and Cheese Studio, because that's when I was a cast member. That's all I would eat at lunch was grilled ham and cheese.
Plus, who doesn't like ham and cheese? Unless
It's
you're,
delicious.
a vegetarian. But
A
if
what?
you,
They
But
real?
if you
I thought they
like-
were mythical, like unicorns.
I'm just saying ham and cheese. Nobody can be like, oh, that's a terrible pick.
Ham and cheese is delicious.
It's delicious.
Yeah, grilled ham and cheese is even better.
Oh, grilled ham and cheese. is
Grilled
the
tomato and
best.
cheese, grilled bacon, ham and cheese.
I've never had that.
Oh, you haven't lived. Okay. All right, let's get started. Why don't you start us off? We're talking about our favorite dark rides today because why not? And because I'm really worried that we have the same list.
I know. I made sure in my mind, I was like, he's picking these, so I'll pick these. I'm pretty sure we have a different one.
All right, well, why don't you start us off? And these aren't the top 10 dark rides.
No, just
we're not
our
saying
favorites.
we're
right?
not saying these are the best out there.
Right.
These are our favorites.
Yeah, and
And we
they're
looked at a list of what constituted a dark ride.
very surprising.
It's a lot, like, according to Disney, it's a big spectrum. It's not just the dark Fantasyland rides. I mean,
Right.
it's Tower. Tower was included in there, and Dinosaur, and all kinds of ones that I wouldn't have
Splash
expected.
Mountain, I never would have expected to be a dark ride.
But it makes sense, right?
It does make sense when you
The
think
definition of
about
dark ride is that it takes place mostly in the dark,
Mhm.
and Splash Mountain does. It's in show scenes with what do you call that? That like the when it glows up when you're in the black lights. There's like the black light scenes. And,
Just so you know, I don't think that description would have gotten me to where you wanted.
yeah, I just snap my fingers and look at you like that's the poor listener's like, what is he talking about?
Why
Anyway.
is he snapping so much?
Why is he snapping his fingers at her? Does he do that all the time? Should I call like someone for her? Should we worry about her safety? He's
Guys, I'm
snapping
fine.
his
I'm
fingers.
fine. This is not good.
Okay, listen, let's just get into it. Okay, let's forget about that last part of the show.
But I was
Just fast forward. If you're going to listen to it again, fast forward that part.
yeah, just skip that.
Remember on Spaceballs when it's like, no, fast forward. It's
Yes.
Dark Helmet. It's like, skip
Oh,
ahead.
when he hits it,
Yeah, and he's like, as a matter of fact, no one, don't ever watch this again.
it's a great movie.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say though, just to get us somewhat back on topic, when you first said like, let's do our top dark rides, I was like, okay, that's awesome because I love dark rides. But I was thinking it was going to be super limited because I did think it was going to be much more narrow spectrum, but it's awesome. There's so many.
Yeah, no, you're right. There are a billion of them.
So it was fun to pick out my favorites, and I did for different reasons. So my first one is actually the only one you might have. It's a surprising pick for me, and it's Dinosaur.
I did not have that on my list.
Oh, yes. And the reason is that, Phil, you were correct that I am scared of almost everything that you can participate in Disney. But so I totally expected when I first went on Dinosaur, but at that point was still Countdown to Extinction.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was summer 98.
But it's the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, they toned it down when it became Dinosaur a little bit.
But the same track and,
Oh, yeah. Same effects and all.
Right,
yeah.
right. So when I first went on it, for the first, I won't tell you guys how long, but many, many times, I just rode it with my eyes closed because I was scared both of the dinosaurs jumping out at me and of the actual movement of the ride. So I was like, all right, let me eliminate the jumping out of me part and I'll just enjoy the ride part, which I could handle. And once I got that down, I was like, you know what? One time I'm just going to be brave and I'm going to open my eyes. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's way better, obviously. But it's so...
When you actually look at what the Imagineers did, it's better than it was when you have your eyes closed.
No, but I mean, you guys, seriously, if there's anyone, if as an adult you think it's too scary or as a kid you think it's too scary, I urge you to at least watch it on, how you can watch them. Watch a ride video.
Amy talks with her hands. She's knocking stuff around in the studio.
Knocked my brand new microphone down. You know how there's a video you can watch the attractions?
Yes, I do.
So I'm telling you guys, at least watch it to see if you feel like you can handle it. And if you feel at all like you can, do it. Because it's so cool. It's like the guy is talking to you and the dinosaurs are popping out.
We're not going to make it.
We're not going to make it. And you're swerving this way and that way. And you guys, it's so great. And I feel like it is a bit underrated, which I know sounds weird, but especially now in Animal Kingdom with Pandora and everything, I feel like it's going to become the forgotten attraction, but it's so great.
It's like the horse collar of attractions.
That's a great comment.
No one remembers him anymore.
A great comparison. No,
Clarabelle Cow made it come back in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yeah, she's huge.
Poor Horace.
Poor Horace.
Yeah.
He didn't eat his ham sandwich. Oh, he's probably not eating a ham sandwich.
No, he's a vegetarian. So I love that pick. I don't have it on my list, so I'm glad that I didn't.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that one kind of, I always say Animal Kingdom is my park. That's my park.
You do say that.
So, because that was my first park that I worked in and I love it. And so, yeah, I love that pick. I think it's an awesome, awesome attraction. I love pointing out the nerdy things to you when we're in line.
You do?
Thank you. And now I point it out to the kids. And just so everyone, the listeners right now understand, the kids are fascinated by my nerdy stuff.
They actually love it.
They love it.
That's why I'm so excited because I can just tune out and the kids.
You get on your phone, you're like, yes! Oh God, he's telling another story.
The kids are like, I'm so interested.
Anyway, so yeah,
that's how they talk, by the way.
Yeah, they sound just like that. The yellow and the red and the white tubes that run through the ceilings of the queue were originally the ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise from McDonald's when they sponsored the attractions.
Isn't that so funny?
Yeah, and there's
so cool.
They have the actual chemical compound of it on written on each tube.
Oh wow,
Pretty
I didn't
cool.
know that.
See, nerdiness. There you go. You got to be a nerd.
Some of them are interesting.
Anyway, thank you. Anyway, all right. So my first choice, and it's an obvious one because I talk about it all the time, and it's a favorite, and it's Haunted Mansion.
Oh, I had that. It's okay.
All right, so we'll tag team it. We can go back and forth.
No problem.
So it's the darkest dark ride, right? I would think that Disney does because it's a little spooky. It's a little creepy.
Yeah, it's dark on two different levels.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's what I was going for. And it's still fun though, and it's funny, and it has some really funny scenes and some really fun scenes, and I feel like it is just screams Disney to me. It's a classic one. Speaking of, I'll let you go and talk about Haunted Mansion in a second, but I want to ask you a question. Speaking of screams, have you ever been in the stretching room and not screamed when the lights went on?
Definitely not. No, I always scream really loud.
Like you don't know what's coming.
Do you scream?
I'm a man. I don't scream.
He screams.
I'm 40.
He screams and he cries.
I'm a man. No, I'm not 40 yet. I'm not old.
He's practically 40. So now we've offended 40-year-olds as well.
I'm just digging myself a hole here.
This is really getting bad.
Yeah, I gotta
So
stop
Haunted
that part.
Mansion.
Yeah, so Haunted Mansion is phenomenal, and Amy's literally has never gone in that stretching room without. When as soon as it gets dark and you hear the fake, like the piped in scream, you scream louder than the fake scream.
I definitely scream louder.
Like I can't tell who's screaming
As
'cause
soon
you
as
scream so loud.
as soon as the lights go out, and I grab your hand too.
Yeah,
because
or
it's-
you like
it's a-
grab whatever kid is next to you, even if it's not ours.
It's you're in a room with a million people, and then the lights go out. You don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I have to tell listeners that I recently pointed out to you that if you look up
Which
when
I've
the lights
never
go out
done.
in that attraction, you see the, I guess it's the ghost host. That's the way he says, there's always my way.
Yes.
There's no way out, but there's always his way.
Yes.
And then it gets dark and you hear lightning and you look up and you see the ghost host hanging from the rafters.
Yes, which I never saw, and totally made me never want to ride it again.
The kids were like, Dad, what's he doing? I was like, nothing. Just get in there. Room.
Poor Jack.
Just keep walking. Look ahead. Look ahead.
Look at
Look at this funny guy in the Haunted Mansion costume. Just keep going. So is there? If you have anything to add about the Haunted Mansion, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you did a great job. I was just going to
Thank
say,
you. I do this good jobs. Why can't I speak? I do good jobs with these. I should just stop talking, man. This
take a deep breath. I love that everyone got to hear your deep
is all right. Sorry.
No, but I think you did, you really covered it. I was just going to say, like, specifically, I love what you were saying about how it is dark and spooky, but they make it so light. Like, I think my favorite, the ballroom scene,
Oh, the best.
my favorite, and the eating, is it dining room scene, I guess?
Yeah, it's the
when
same,
they're at the
same
table.
thing. Yeah, it's
I
the ballroom
love
scene. That's what they call
ballroom
it. Yeah.
scene. Yeah, that is so much fun. It's fun for kids. It's fun for adults, and it does kind of take the scariness a little bit out of it. And of course, at the end, when there's a ghost sitting on you, and where is the ghost going to be? Is he going to be doing something funny to you? It's really cool, and it does. If you do have someone in your party or yourself who's a bit freaked out, it kind of makes you laugh and lightens the mood.
I like the way they did it with the new ghosts, not new, but newer. How it remember it used to be that static.
Of
ghost
course,
that just
no,
kinda-
I love how it does it now.
I was mimicking it, but it just,
He bumped
just-
into his
it just sat there and it like shook back and forth as the Doom buggy went by. It didn't really do anything. Now it's like interactive and it goes on top of your car. It'll pop your head off,
Yes.
make it a balloon, like it does crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
one time I think it kissed one of the kids' cheeks.
Yeah, it's really neat. They
really
did a good
cool.
job with that.
Yes.
It's awesome. So, okay. That was my choice,
Correct.
Haunted Mansion. Oh, by the way, what's for you, your opinion, where's it better, Disneyland or Magic Kingdom? Haunted Mansion, I mean.
I mean, it's always going to be, for me, it's always going to be Disney World. It's always going to be just that's,
Which
When I first
which
discovered
exterior do you like better?
I think, still Disney World.
Yeah, like Disney World has
Yeah.
the Magic Kingdom's version has the, broken down old mansion.
I love
look to
that.
it,
Yeah.
Where
It
the
does.
Disneyland version is in New Orleans Square and it has like the Victorian, beautifully kept mansion, but inside it's spooky. So they're two different kind of experiences
Yeah,
outside.
it's whatever you like.
but
I
inside
guess.
is very, very similar.
Your preference.
So, okay. So, I think you're up. Yeah, it's your turn.
I
for the next
am
one.
up. And I have, this is a very long name. So I just wrote Grand Fiesta Tour with the Three Caballeros.
Yep.
But we call it the duck boat ride,
Yes.
which I put in parentheses so I knew what I meant. So this is
I love
in-
this still, even though the kids are 7 and 5 now, it's still Duck Boat Ride.
I
'Cause
know.
that's what they called it when they were really little.
It's just a cute name and it's easier to say. But so this is in Epcot in the Mexican Pavilion. And you just kind of get on the boats, but it's so fun. Like, it's just really cool. And I know
Good
so
music.
many people, it's such good music. And I know they're probably going to renovate it. They're going to redo the whole thing.
I don't know. I think it would have started by now.
Yeah,
I think,
probably. I love it. I hope
I
they
think
keep
it's
it.
staying. I mean, the rumor was out there for Coco for a long time.
But nothing happened, right?
I feel like Coco came and went and it didn't happen and maybe it won't happen now.
I mean, I love Coco, so I'd be okay with it, but I love how it is now. And yeah, it's just really fun. Like, yeah, exactly what you said, the music, and then there's fireworks at the end, and you keep looking for Donald. He's always doing funny things. It's a really, again, totally underrated, but I like it too because it's in the middle of Epcot. So you're like, sometimes you're really hot and, you ate and you drank and you just kind of want a little rest, a little relaxation. And it's the perfect place to go.
Yeah, it's like after you get your nachos outside and then
And
you go
potentially
into
a
La
margarita.
Cava.
Right.
I was going to say you go into La Cava and get that margarita.
Absolutely.
And then you're full. It's like you got a belly full of Mexican food and margarita. And you wait in line and it's air conditioned in there.
It's so nice in there.
It's a beautiful pavilion inside. It really
and what
is.
they've done with it is incredible.
It's
Because there's so much cocoa stuff
there's
in
cocoa
there.
and when you walk in, they have like the displays, and I think that's a nice little touch. But I love that it's Mexico at night, like
Yes.
this nighttime bazaar. Even like, and it's so funny to watch people walk out of that pavilion. Out of
They
that.
always squint.
Everybody's like walking out. Yeah, your eyes are squeaking. You can't make because it's so sunny outside.
Yes.
It's so dark in there, and it's so cold. And it's such a shock to your system when you walk out. You're like, oh my god.
Because the humidity just rushes
Yeah, you
at
just
you.
forgot what it was like outside. But yeah, I love that attraction too. It's a great one. Listen, none of these on the list are going to be. I want to disagree with you, but I'm probably not going to.
No, because they're all great.
They're all great. So, all right, so that's a good one. My next one for me, hopefully it's not on your list, is I want to say this classic Disneyland, Disney World attraction, Peter Pan's Flight.
Oh, yay. No, it's not. But I'm so glad, of course, it's on yours.
Okay, so everything about it is phenomenal and fantastic. Even though it feels like it's over in like 7 seconds.
I know, it's so quick.
It's so short. It's such a short attraction. As a matter of fact, it's so short that the last time we rode it, I rode with Zoe, our daughter
cried.
Zoe. She's the nicest little girl. And I'm probably just saying that because she's ours.
Yeah, I think you are.
But she can be a grump and she
Yeah.
can get moody because she's a girl. No,
Hey.
Hey,
you know I'm sitting here, right?
You know how it goes. Excuse me.
That was karma.
Yeah, I had to cough. See, little girls, like it's amazing. I've seen it with our two girls and our son. Like the girls get moody. He doesn't. He's just never moody.
No, he's never in a
just
bad mood.
pleasant, smiling all the time. And the girls they wake up and you're like, it's going to be one of those days.
Yes,
They
definitely.
just look grumpy.
You guys know what we're talking about.
Moms of girls, dads of girls, you know what we're saying. They're just, I don't know. It's a different experience with boys and girls. Anyway, so Zoe's riding and we get out and the sun hits her in the eyes and she squints and she goes, "What? It's over?" And she started crying.
Because it
And
is
we caught up
really
to
short.
you. Me and the girls caught up to you and Jack. And you were like, "What's she crying for?" And I said, "It was too short for her." And we're like, "Well, we can't do anything about that."
That we can't change, my friend.
So, but like, I love the attraction. I love everything about it. The flying over London scene, though, might be my favorite scene in any dark ride.
It's really amazing. It is iconic. As you
It's
said.
from 1955.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Like nothing really has been done to that scene. They just copied it for Magic Kingdom from Disneyland. So I said to swallow there. Nothing has. I made a really funny face at Amy. Nothing has been done. It just looks like this. It just. I don't know. I can't even explain it. When you come out of the Darling Nursery and you fly, and I know I've talked about this so many times in the show, but I don't care because I love it. And you look down and you see the cars moving along, and you see the Tower Bridge, and you see Big Ben, and it's the Disney experience that I couldn't wait for my kids to experience.
That's a really good way to describe it. Yes,
really is.
definitely.
So yeah, I just love it, and with the new queue in
Yes.
Magic Kingdom, if the line is 45 minutes or less, wait, just don't worry about it. Which it's never.
No, it never
It's always
is.
90.
But if for some reason,
If you get there, if it's like 10 a.m., 9 a.m., you
Yeah,
get it.
sometimes it
you'll
is.
get it, yeah.
right?
But it's one that you want to fast pass most often. But if you get a chance, do the interactive queue because it's really, really neat.
It's worth it.
It is. All right. If you have nothing to add for Peter Pan's Flight,
I have nothing to add.
okay.
Oh, good. I like this pick.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're.
I'm patting myself on the back.
I was gonna say, glad to see you're impressed with yourself. Okay. What's your next one?
So my next one is, but not for the reasons you think. It's Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
But did you also have Winnie the Pooh?
No, I don't have it on my list.
Then why are you making a weird face?
It's a surprising one. I didn't see it coming.
It is. That's correct. I like to keep you on your toes.
Nice. Said.
Both in real life and podcast life.
That's true.
No, the reason that this is one of my favorites. So just so you guys know, Winnie the Pooh replaced Mr. Toad's Wild Ride in Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. And Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was forever my favorite ride. Not just because they referenced it in Mallrats, but that is part of the reason. No, I just love Mr. Toad's.
What is it they want? Women want romance, not
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Be fair, all right? Everyone wants Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
But so as soon as I heard Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was being replaced, already I was like, forget it. Whatever's happening, I want no part of.
We weren't dating then.
No, we were not.
Was that 90? It was 98?
No, it was
97, something like that?
No. It was after college program.
Okay. So were you, we lost touch for a couple years after college program.
Those were the dark years.
Were you one of the Toad-in people who would sit in the Magic Kingdom?
I mean, I certainly was not.
Okay. Because this is something we would have to I would have to pause the show and discuss this with you.
We would need a little break.
Yeah, we would need some time to talk it over.
But I just was bummed. And yeah, so I definitely was like totally boycotting Winnie the Pooh. I was like, forget it.
Showing up to the Magic Kingdom in your Toad costume.
Yeah.
Look at the hat.
How did they possibly think that a Winnie the Pooh ride could be as good or better than Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? So I think I want to tell you it was like 2 years. I mean, I really held out where I just wouldn't go. And everyone was on Winnie the Pooh. It was like so popular. So finally my friend was like, dude, you have to just go. Like you have to at least check it out. And if you really do hate it the way you think you're going to, whatever, then that's, something we'll deal with, but at least try it. You guys, it's awesome. And I know that's not a new one. I know you guys have probably done it 1,000 times. But it really is amazing. And it probably is better than Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, if you think about it, or at least as good, because the theming is amazing. Every room is different. The Tigger room is my favorite. You literally bounce on the thing, which is the track, I guess, which is super fun. And when do you get to do that? And then when you go into the windy room, you can feel the wind blowing through your hair. I mean, that's awesome. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'm just close. If you heard the text message come in, I'm trying to stop it from happening.
I got totally distracted.
There it is again. It's a very professional podcast today. And listen,
sorry, you guys. I tried to keep my train of thought.
It's the struggle of new equipment. I can't figure out how to mute my computer while having it still record.
And you're so popular
on 2 microphones. Well, that goes without saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Not, I was totally listening, but I was trying to concentrate on that as well.
So he didn't hear anything I said.
I did. I know that you love the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. The rain room is.
Oh yeah, I didn't say the rain room.
I was going to say that's probably my favorite scene.
That's awesome.
With the rain came down.
Wait, is that where it's windy?
Yeah, it's.
Well, then
Winnie
yes,
the Pooh
I did
in a blustery day, so the whole thing's windy, right? Like kind of.
But can't you just feel it?
Yeah,
well, you can't feel it through your hair, but.
Yeah, I don't feel much through my hair these days.
But you can feel
that wanting hair thing that was gone for me a long time ago. I think I've been shaving my head for like 14 years, something like that.
I think that's right.
It's been a long time. But yeah, so it's based on Winnie the Pooh in a blustery day. So the rain room has the wind and it's just an amazing scene with the rain coming down and you feel it. Like you actually feel like the chill of the rain and it's really, really well done. Now, you said you feel like it's better than Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? It's definitely a better production.
For me, it's not better, but I think in general, if I was, not biased.
Like a first-time park guy.
Yes, probably you would have to say.
If you got to ride those two back-to-back in Disneyland, which you can do.
Yes, that's true, and then you can compare.
Which one are you going to like better? I actually love both. I love Pooh on both coasts. The one at Disneyland has the outdoor living area.
So fun. I do like that better.
I love that.
That one's so cool.
With the honey pots, and it's really, really cool.
I love that. You're right.
It's the limitation of Florida, right? It's because the rain. You can't have load areas.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's
like a while back, Chuck talked about, he was on the show, Rodriguez, and he talked about how when Magic Kingdom opened.
Do you have two Chucks on your show?
No, but I just wanted to let the listener know who I was speaking about.
Who you were talking about.
So Chuck talked about how when the Mad Tea Party first opened in Magic Kingdom in 71, it wasn't covered. And he was like,
oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they put a roof over it, I think it's 72 or 73.
My gosh, he knows everything about this
But
stuff.
why on earth wouldn't they cover that?
Right.
Like it rains a lot in Orlando,
All the
Central
time.
Florida. So the darn things were getting full.
I mean,
of water.
there are definitely whole seasons where every single day it rains.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah. Anyway, that's just a weird fun fact, but I do love Winnie the Pooh. I love it because the kids love it.
But I mean, I've done it many times just as an adult with
Yeah,
no
no,
kids,
no,
and it's
yeah.
so enjoyable.
Yeah, it's a cute, fun.
And I know we always say about the interactive queue, but it really is awesome.
The Flu
And
queue.
that is one, the flu queue. That is one that you really can do because it's not usually a super long wait.
Yeah, and if it's like 35, 40-minute wait, your kids will be
Yeah,
pretty,
we've done 40 there, and it's easy.
just bring hand sanitizer or wipes for their hands.
Definitely, or both,
And don't let them eat anything in a queue at all. Like no eating in there.
or after. Like, make sure you
Yeah, you
really
gotta-
clean them
'cause
before
that's where-
they eat.
That's where your children will go to get sick on vacation.
That's
for sure.
true.
All right. So my next pick, I feel like we're in the Magic Kingdom a lot. But Magic Kingdom has a lot of dark rides. So
That's
kinda where
really
we are.
true.
My next one, the iconic, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean.
I'm so glad you picked it.
Well, it's the ultimate Disney dark ride, right?
It is.
really
I let
is.
you have it because I knew you would pick
You
it.
should let me have it.
Well, I mean,
All right, no, it's fine. That's cool. I get it. So even with the omission, I guess, of the redhead
yes.
and the
Well, she's still there.
yeah, but she's not. It's a different character now.
Yes,
Um,
I agree.
and the auctioneer is completely different. He's a different
Yeah,
voice.
he's totally different.
Like I've said on this show a couple of times, it's not as jarring in person as it was when I saw it on YouTube. Like
Yeah, it's not that jarring.
I think the sound syncs up better than it seems, or they've at least figured that out.
that makes sense.
But even with the addition of that new part, it's still, I think, the most iconic dark ride Disney's ever done.
I would definitely agree.
It is one. Listen, like
yeah, because it's so unique.
yeah, and it look at the jump. Like, okay, this is what's crazy. Like in 1963, Disneyland came out with the Tiki Room, right?
Right.
So that was they were cutting edge audio animatronic birds in 1963.
Yes, I remember.
4 years later,
Not because I was there in person.
no, are you sure?
oh,
Four-
he's
four-
being really harsh today.
Oh, that was a joke. 4 years later, they have a full attraction full of audio animatronic pirates. Like, look at that
Yeah.
progression.
I mean, that's
In
unbelievable.
4 years.
How is that possible?
It's amazing.
It really is.
It is. And it Disney back then, the Imagineers just got stuff done. Like, that's when Walt Disney was like, hey, here's a box and some wires. Go make an attraction out of this. And they did. Because they didn't have another choice.
That's exactly right.
So it's just, what the
A
Imagineers,
box and some wires.
I don't know.
No, but you're right.
a tin can and a coconut. Go get something
That's
done.
essentially what it is, though.
But I mean, listening to guys like Bob Gurr talk and doing some research, you figure out just they didn't know what they were doing. They were just, let's
No.
try this. And if it would work, they were like, okay, that works. Let's try something else.
Right.
And they just figured it out on the fly. It was an
It's
amazing
unbelievable. But their
They-
brains worked in a different way.
thing. Yeah, I
than
mean,
most people's
they're all
brains work.
geniuses. Like I'm
Right?
like, if you gave me the same equipment that you gave like somebody like a Bob Gurr
right.
or a Mark Davis, and you were like, here, figure. I'd be like, and look, I like taking stuff apart. Like I don't know how to put it back together.
That's actually true, you guys.
I do. I'm actually pretty handy with electronics. That's pretty much as far as I go. Even though it took me like a week and a half to figure out the microphones. But anyway, the attraction is still as good as it ever was. I think.
It really is.
You lose a little bit, obviously, with that scene being out. You lose a little with the PC pirates being chased by the women instead of the women chasing. I mean,
yes.
the pirates chasing the women. You lose out on that a little bit. I get it. I get why those changes were made.
I get it too.
I don't have to like them though. But the
that's
attraction
true.
is awesome. Everything they've done, like the addition of Captain Jack Sparrow and Barbossa.
Oh, I love
When
that.
they first did that, I was like, oh man, why are they messing with it?
No, I love it.
But then it adds just so much to the story.
it does, and it's not. I don't think it's very intrusive.
No, it's not. It fits. It fits really, really well.
They really did a great job. But you're right. I know we were both really concerned about it. But no, they did it so perfectly.
I agree. It's just, and it's on both coasts. It's awesome. Disneyland, I have to admit, it's a little better out there.
Yeah, Disneyland is definitely better. They're both great.
It's a longer attraction
Definitely
out there.
better.
There's more scenes.
Yes, with the music and the yes, it's
And you float around Blue
amazing.
Bayou, which I love. That
yes,
part of it.
that's the best part.
And the fireflies and the guy on the porch out. in the
Oh,
front.
that's my favorite.
It's just is he an old pirate? I think he's an old pirate that's dreaming about when he was a pirate.
Yeah, that's what the
And
whole
the
story
attraction
is.
goes back in time. It's just a great attraction.
It really
I
is.
mean, we could talk about it all day, so we should probably stop and you should probably go to your next one.
Oh, I will say though, I love the changes that they made with the dog.
Yeah. So what? I'm trying to think. He has more movement.
He does.
Right?
Yes.
Am I crazy that I thought that
No,
last
no,
time?
no. I noticed the same thing.
He used to kind of just sit and turn his head and his tail would move.
Now he like takes he's like
The keys
right?
are like swinging
moving
around.
the keys
Yeah, like it was
away
a-
from the yes.
Tell me, I want a listener to let me know if we're nuts.
No, I'm pretty sure. Well, we are nuts, but for this reason, I think we're right.
I think there was more movement and more going on with that audio animatronic. But
I
maybe we're
certainly
crazy.
noticed it.
I did too. It stood out to me like when we were on it, a couple of months ago or a month and a half ago.
Yes, we really saw.
I looked and I was like, that dog is different. He's doing more stuff. So maybe it was just they fixed the animatronic. Maybe it hadn't been working for years, or maybe it's
that's
a
true.
new animatronic and they added new movements. I don't know, but it's.
I couldn't tell if he looked different. I just
I
saw
thought
that
he
his
looked different.
movements.
I thought he did.
Did you? I didn't notice.
We'll have to see how much research we've done before the show.
Aren't you impressed?
Anyway, Ames, you're up for your next one.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, it's you.
It is me. This is my last one because you stole my Haunted Mansion. Is that okay with you?
I mean, I'm going to have to adjust the whole show, but no, it's fine.
But I will say, we'll stop here, and I'm going to actually give you a really big compliment, which doesn't happen that often. So,
Hold on, let me turn and face you. I'm ready.
I was just going to say that even though I live with you, so I get to experience your passion for Disney all the time in everyday life. We also have 3 kids, so there's a lot of other stuff going on. So I want to tell you that every time I sit down and do a podcast with you, it really gets me just re-excited for Disney, which is funny because I'm always excited for Disney, but just seeing your passion and your excitement and most of your knowledge. It's just, I'm like so pumped up. We're going to Disney soon. And I'm like, yes, I can't wait now for this trip.
That's awesome.
So I just want to thank you. And hopefully the listener can get the same feeling from you because you guys, seriously, he like radiates this passion and it's so sincere and genuine. And thank you for making me excited about it, for making our kids, and for making all the people who get to listen excited.
That was really nice. I think we should stop the podcast.
And
Nothing can follow that. I
that's
can't
true.
even. thank
I
you for
should have
saying
saved it for the end, I guess.
that. Yeah, now I'm like, God, do I want to talk about my next one?
It's like so lame.
No, but thanks. And it's exciting, and these are fun to do with you as well. I mean, they're a lot of fun because you and I sit in the same room and we talk, and it's a lot different than doing it with someone over Skype. Not to say interviewing Ridley Pearson last week wasn't amazing, but
It doesn't quite compare to me. That's okay.
It's a different kind of dynamic when you sit with somebody and you can see how excited they are.
Of course.
And I do. And this is like, I try to explain to people, people tell me, and I've heard from people, they're like, you can just hear your excitement. It's not fake.
No, you guys should see him in the park. This is exactly
This
how
is
he
me.
is.
This is how I am. This is what I'm like. I mean, I feel bad for you because
I get excited.
when we're in the parks, I'm like, I'm 13-year-old Phil back in the parks
I know, it's
for
awesome.
the first time, but 13-year-old Phil who has a lot more knowledge and history in his head. So we're walking around. I'm like, you see this right there? That's this thing is from this and that and this Imagineer made this. And this is a tribute to this guy and this. And Amy's like, oh my God.
And I'm like sweating and the kids are pulling on my shirt.
And she's like, Phil, can I please give them their Dole Whips? And I'm like, did you know where the Dole Whip started? It started at the Dole Plantation in like a maniac.
The reason I'm laughing is that this is completely accurate
Oh, it's
to
exactly
our
how
daily life.
it's how it goes. Like Amy will be working, like doing something with the kids, and I'll be like, I wanted to tell you something that I found out today about Pirates of the Caribbean. And she's like, oh my God. No, she's always very nice about it. So thank you for
Thank
saying
you.
that.
You're welcome.
That was really, okay. Yeah, we have to finish the show now, but that was awesome.
Oh, well, I really mean it. But I didn't even put this on my list because I was like, don't do it again. But I am going to do
She
it.
spiked the list.
I actually did
You
spike
guys
it.
didn't hear her very quietly. She spiked it on the ground.
There. I don't know if you could hear that one.
The microphones are good. They probably picked that up.
Probably. So of course I am referencing, which I asked Phil when he was asking me
Wait for
to
it.
do this podcast.
Wait for it. I know where she's going. Sorry.
Is this a dark ride? And we weren't sure. But thank goodness it is. So you guys are welcome for once again, you get to hear
You're
about how much
welcome.
I love
Sorry.
No, that was really good. For how much I love Toy Story Mania because it's amazing, and I did not know it was a dark ride, but it makes sense because it is dark.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if we're going by the Disney definition of dark ride,
Right.
it is a ride that's mostly in the dark.
I actually did think it was because it's a similar type of vehicle, right? Like you're in a vehicle that moves,
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt
Yeah.
like a dark ride. So it is. And obviously you guys know that I think it's amazing. I don't know if there are people out there that have not done it, but please go do it. If you have not, it's awesome. So basically it's based on Toy Story, and yeah, you get to just like see all the characters, and you're in this really fun vehicle that like spins you from ride to ride, like doesn't spin you, but it just kind of, how would you describe that? Swerves you? It's like a fun feeling.
I don't know if I would say swerves. Whisks,
Yes, you whisk from game to game,
shimmies.
and you get to wear 3D glasses, which sometimes that's all someone needs. That's a very exciting component.
Yeah, the 3D part of it's awesome.
And then you get to just try to beat all the people in your car and in your party, try to get the highest score. But it's not just like, every single thing is the same. It's all the games are totally different from each other, and they're fun carnival games that everybody has seen, and it's super cool.
And it's a lot more technique driven or technique rewarding, I guess you would say, than like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Because with
I
Buzz,
totally
you can just
agree.
hold the trigger down, aim at targets,
Yes.
and that's how you get your points. This one, you actually have to aim the gun
Yes, at different.
and strategically
Absolutely.
look at what you're shooting
You're
at.
right, because everything is worth a different score.
Yeah, like I'm not good at this one. Like I get
I know. I
decent
actually
scores.
sometimes beat. I think I always beat you.
Yeah, I get decent
So
scores,
good at
but
it,
I
you
go
guys.
crazy trying to get the high point targets.
Yeah, you can't. You
Like
got
I'm always trying to get the 500 and thousands.
No, quantity over quality in this one.
Yeah, and I'm not good with that. Like I got 700 and some thousand on Buzz last time. That's the most I've ever gotten.
You guys should have seen how excited he was.
I was excited, but then I was like a little shaken up that I didn't get 999999999.
Well,
it
you
bothered me.
usually do.
No, I never have.
You
and I
never
was so
have,
close.
right? Oh, you got so close.
No, I've never been a galactic hero. I've been a lot of things
Galactic hero.
in my life. A lot of
Other
things.
kinds of heroes.
Yes, I've been a superhero.
Yes,
I've been, I don't know. I can't think of other heroes.
I know. I
That's
couldn't
all
either.
I'm coming up with. And it wasn't, I've never
I
been
was trying to.
and
have
I
fun of
lied. I've
you.
never been a superhero. Never.
In certain people's eyes, you are.
Oh, get out of here.
No, I gave you enough compliments.
Yeah, the compliments are, now you're just forcing one. It doesn't work.
That's really true.
So no, but this attraction, Toy Story Midway Mania, it requires more technique and skill,
It does.
which is why it's brutal when we go with our kids, because one of us has to have two kids
Yes.
on the attraction, which means either Amy and I can't play.
Right.
If you have two of your kids, what are you going to say? No, you guys share
You
one?
can't get the gun. No, of course not.
You sit the little one, the 5-year-old sits in your lap. The
They get, like,
7-year-old sits next to you.
300 the whole
Yeah,
time.
they get 300 points. It's a waste of a time. Waste of a fast pass.
So true.
No, you think you get off and you're like, come on, man. I would have gotten way more than 300 points. But no, you gotta let them play.
Oh, wait.
We've had our time. We're old.
Wait, I'm sorry. I have to tell this one part. The most recent time that we went on, actually, because normally I
Yeah.
actually only have one kid.
Yeah. Oh my God. I remember. Yeah, this is really funny.
You know what I'm going to
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So this time I had two, and I was like, oh man, I can't use the gun. But I was like, oh, well, it was Jack sitting on my lap. So I was just letting him go. But the whole time I was like, oh man, I've had a lot of trouble with my vision in the past, and I've had certain times when I couldn't see 3D, but it hasn't been recent. So I was on the attraction, and I was paying more attention to what I was seeing because I didn't have the gun, and I was like, guys, this is really fuzzy the whole time. Oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna have to go to the eye doctor again. Something's wrong. I was totally freaking out. And
I'm
as soon
sorry.
as it was, you guys probably can see where I'm going with it.
I don't think they can.
But as soon as it was over, I went to take my sunglasses off my head to put them on, and I was wearing the sunglasses instead of the 3D glasses the entire time I was on the attraction.
I think that's one of the greatest stories ever. You had the yellow glasses, the 3D glasses on your head,
On top of my head, where I normally have my
and
sunglasses.
you rode with your sunglasses on, and were so worried that you were
I
going
was
blind.
no, you guys. It's like kind of a long attraction, right? So there was.
Oh,
how
you
many-
had like stories in
how
your
many
mind.
minutes?
I don't know. It's probably 4 minutes long.
Yeah,
Maybe
at
5.
least 4 minutes. Where I just was like, oh, well, my vision is gone.
I'm
I'm going to go blind next week.
I love that story. When you got off and you showed me, I
couldn't even talk. I was laughing so hard.
I almost had a bodily function happen. I laughed so hard. I had to run to the bathroom because I was laughing so hard. It was so funny.
It was.
So yeah, those are the great moments that you have when you're a Disney nerd family. And oh my God, it was so funny.
It was great.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. Okay. So my next, I have 2 more. I want to close it out. I'd love for you to chime in on this one.
Okay.
You can chime in on both. I mean, they're both ones.
Thank you.
You don't have to stay silent over there.
I don't have to leave.
No. Okay, Amy's done for this portion of the show. We'll talk to you later.
Take it, Phil.
So okay, my next one, and it's not in Magic Kingdom or Disneyland. It is actually in Epcot, and it is Spaceship Earth.
Oh, I love Spaceship Earth. I'm so happy that it is represented. Nobody cares about Spaceship
Represent?
Earth. Nobody cares about Spaceship Earth.
I disagree. I disagree completely because it has, whenever the park opens, it has an hour-long wait.
That's true. That makes me so happy for
And it makes me very frustrated for the poor people waiting in line who didn't get fast passes for Spaceship Earth. Just go back at lunchtime and
That's really true.
It'll be a 10-minute line or a walk-on.
Oh,
Just
but
don't wait
people
an
don't
hour.
know.
Don't wait.
So just use a Disney travel agent.
Yeah,
who will tell you.
Or ask me. I'm happy to answer your questions. I would like to book your trip, but if you're not going to let me book your trip, ask me. Don't do Spaceship Earth if you get there at 9:30.
Right.
Because the line's going to be an hour. It's the first thing people
But
see
you're
when
never
they
going
walk
to
in.
see an hour again after. You're right.
Yeah.
During the day.
It's the busier times. It's then and it's
Like right after. But
right after lunch, right after
Right.
dinner is going to be a long way too. But you can stagger it. Go during lunch
yes.
when everybody else is eating. Go.
This has
and there'll be
nothing
no
to do
line.
with the podcast, but that is one of the best pieces of advice you can tell. Don't ever eat lunch at lunchtime in Disney.
Right.
Never.
Ride while people eat.
Yes.
Eat while people ride.
Eat really early or eat late. Like do something.
Eat
Do
at weird
not
times, yeah.
eat lunch at lunchtime.
You'll have, if you go to Columbia Harbor House, this is way off topic, but if you go to Columbia Harbor House at 2:30 and eat then,
You're going to be the only
you'll
one
have the
there.
whole upstairs to
It's
yourself.
amazing.
It's the greatest. You get up there and you just sit, you watch the people outside in line for Haunted Mansion. I love it. Anyway.
And I'm sorry, really quick, it is an easy thing to do because there's so many snacks
Yeah,
around.
you get a snack or you
Or
eat
bring a
breakfast
snack,
late or
yeah.
you eat breakfast at 11 and then, have a little snack before you leave your room, eat breakfast at 10 or 11.
Right, or
Then
eat lunch
your kids can hold off
early.
until later.
Yes, either way.
You got to tackle it. You got to have like a strategy in place before you go, and you'll do great. I just saw people waiting in line for an hour for Spaceship Earth. I'm like, man, I wish I could go through that line and tell every one of them, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Do it this way, and you won't wait in an hour.
I'm sure everyone would have appreciated it.
No, I don't really mean I would do that. Anyway, so
Actually, they probably would.
so Spaceship Earth is.
Oh my gosh, next time we go, you're going to do that, aren't you?
No, I'll never do that. I'm not that kind of, me. I'm just, I talk a big game, and then you're like, hey, those guys waiting an hour for Spaceship Earth, and I'm like, oh, that's more time for us later. Like,
That's true.
less people are on Soarin' right now. Let's go to Soarin'. So yeah, is my entire like Disney going life.
Soarin' isn't
Spaceship
a dark
Earth.
ride, is it?
I don't think it was on the list. So
I didn't look.
it is dark in there.
I love Soarin'. Let's just say that.
All right, Soarin's great.
I would have put it on there.
So let me get back to Spaceship Earth. So my
Yes.
entire Disney going life, that attraction has blown me away. It takes you from the dawn of time to the future in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
unbelievable.
The animatronics are amazing.
Yeah, they don't forget anything.
No, it tackles all communication from the beginning of time to now to the future. Although I will admit, I don't love this touchscreen in the future thing.
You don't?
I
You've never mentioned that.
I know, but listen, I have to be honest.
No, of course.
Who's going to
absolutely.
listen if I'm like, oh, I love it. I don't love everything.
No,
I loved when you would go backwards down the hill at the end.
that was my favorite part.
and there was the audio animatronics. And do you remember the mom tucking her daughter in
Of
over
course,
a video
that was
screen?
my favorite.
Well, guess what? That happens now on FaceTime
It happens
and
all
Skype.
the time. You're absolutely right.
We do that when we're away for our kids,
Right.
even if we're away for one night, like we have a babysitter. We'll go on FaceTime and say goodnight to the kids on
Oh,
FaceTime.
absolutely.
That is so relevant now, but they took it out.
I
and-
know. It was
It's a
so
bummer.
cute, too.
because it was ahead of its time, and then it
Right.
looked like it wasn't going to happen. Then all of a sudden, we have FaceTime and Skype, and people do it all the time.
I know.
I'm at the store and I'm like, is this the rice you want? And I
I
go
do
on
it all the
FaceTime.
time.
I'm like, this looks like, is this the spaghetti that you need?
Yes.
Like we do it all the time, like a couple of dopes. But people look at you in the store like you're crazy. But it works. And people, it's easy. But I love Spaceship Earth. I love everything about it. I love, I don't want to complain, like saying I don't like that part, because there's so much to like in the attraction. Like Roma's burning scene.
Yeah,
The
that's
sleeping
great.
monk. Michelangelo.
That's my favorite when he's painting the
yeah.
ceiling.
And it's the hallelujah.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
It's so good.
And you're going through and you're like, oh, this is good.
I know, you're so into it.
Yeah, and then the printing press with the guy like
Yes, it's
and
so
I
well
went away from
done.
the microphone because I'm mimicking everything. But then there's the creepy kid who's selling the newspapers.
Oh, he is so creepy.
And we never know which way he's facing. Why is
He
he
is
sometimes
creepy.
facing you and sometimes he's not?
I don't know. He's really
Actually, somebody,
creepy.
I got to look that up because somebody sent me the reason why.
Oh, really?
There's a legit reason why. And he's movable and you can move him around.
Oh, I wonder why.
Because he's creepy and he comes to life.
That's plausible.
But I love everything. Oh, and I love it, like when they refurbed it years ago and they added the garage scene with, it's not Steve Jobs, right? It's the other guy from Apple and his computer typing away.
Oh, right.
And
I
then
forgot about that.
It's then the giant computer that's like a warehouse
Right.
with a lady in yellow with the afro. Like I love that part.
Yes.
Like, people do run Disney races dressed as her.
Do they really?
Yeah,
That's so fun.
She's an iconic character now. It's
She
so cool.
is, yeah.
So yeah, and
That's fun.
It goes to show you that attraction has changed a lot over the years, but it's still awesome.
Yeah, it's still incredible. Definitely, you shouldn't miss it. It's awesome.
The only one I know that won't ride it, Bob Gurr, because he hates the system,
Do you love
He
that you
hates
know Bob Kerr?
the ride system. I know. Did I mention it too much?
No. I meant it seriously.
No. It's an amazing opportunity that I get. I'm super lucky to get a chance to talk to him as often as I do. I mean, I have 7-8 hours of audio saved on a hard drive. Just me and Bob Gurr
It's so incredible.
talking. It's really, really cool. I mean, it's amazing. I don't know how I got this lucky. It's awesome. But I'm going to ride it as long as I can and enjoy it as long as I can. And
Yes.
it's amazing. All right. So my last one, and I want you please to chime in as much as you want on this one too. And it's not in Walt Disney World. But it does kind of go back to your first pick.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not in Walt Disney World. It's only in Adventureland and Disneyland.
Okay.
And it's the Indiana
Yes.
Jones Adventure.
I'm so glad.
Temple
I
of
was
the
going to pick
Forbidden
it,
Eye.
but then I thought it was too much picking dinosaur and that. So
Yeah,
I'm glad
so-
you picked it.
So okay, if for those only who've only been to Walt Disney World, never been out there to Disneyland, it's the same. Not only is it the same ride system, it's the same track layout as Dinosaur in Animal Kingdom.
But it's a completely different
I mean,
attraction.
the rides couldn't be more
It's
different.
unbelievable. Yeah, if you didn't know that, you would never guess.
No, it's completely different.
I don't know how they do
feels
that.
Totally different.
It does.
It's just the way those vehicles are designed is amazing. They make it feel like, I mean, you are on a straight track and the vehicle makes you feel like you were going up hills, down hills,
Yes.
going over bumpy roads, swerving,
Right.
speeding up, slowing down.
I don't know
And
how
that's
they do
all
it.
in the ride vehicle design.
Okay.
It's an incredible, they call them time rovers
Yes.
in Countdown to Extinction or Dinosaur. They're called the CTX rovers. I forget what they call them. I think they just call them Jeeps or something
Yeah,
like that.
I think they do. I'm not
in
remembering.
Disneyland
I think it's Jeeps.
for Indiana Jones. But listen, I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. I'm probably a bigger Indiana Jones fan than I am a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I love those movies. I love Indiana Jones. I love the character. I love the music. This makes you feel like you were in the middle of an Indiana Jones movie. Like,
Yes, it really does.
like Star Tours does and puts you in Star Wars. This puts you right in the middle of Indiana Jones. The music is the greatest. Because
It's
listen, that
everything,
John
right?
Williams score is the best.
it really is.
There's a scene in Indiana Jones Temple of Forbidden Eye when you go into this room, this huge showroom, and you see another car passing in front of you, and like this fire, like these explosions on the bridge. and
Right.
You remember what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
I
That
know
big
exactly
scene?
what you mean.
And you look at your head's on a swivel because you're trying to take it all in.
Yes.
And you're just like, oh my God. Like this is technologically, and this isn't a new attraction. It's been around 20 some years.
No.
It blows my mind how
Every
good it is.
time I go on, I'm like, because we don't go on, obviously. that
Right, because we're
often.
not. Yeah, we don't live in Southern California. We don't get out there.
So when I go, I'm like so excited, and every time I'm so impressed.
Yeah, I think the last 3 or 4 years I've been to Disneyland once a year.
Right.
And I'm going again.
Don't tell everyone that. Oh, you're going again, right?
Yeah, no. What don't tell everybody what?
I only go to Disneyland once a year.
Oh no, I don't mean it like that. I
I'm
mean,
just kidding.
I'm lucky enough to get out
yes,
there once a
you're
year.
you're so lucky.
Um,
And Disneyland, oh my goodness, is amazing.
yeah, for me, Disneyland Park is my favorite Disney park. Magic Kingdom is number 2. When you it's apples to oranges.
It really
they're
is.
such different parks, but they're so similar at the same time.
Yeah,
It's
you
weird.
wouldn't think there would be so many differences, but there really are.
Right, like I like Walt Disney World more than I like the Disneyland Resort. But I like
Right,
Disneyland
me too.
Park more than I like Magic Kingdom.
That
If
makes
that makes sense.
It does.
And I love Magic Kingdom. That's my second favorite park. Excuse me. But there's just something about that attraction, Indiana Jones. There's a part when you go through this tunnel and you hear these darts being shot at you.
Yes, that's my favorite part. I was just going to say
And you
that.
feel the
You
air.
can feel it
yeah,
whizzing past you.
passing, or darts or arrows, whatever it is. And you feel them passing you.
Yes.
And the car ducks and dodges to
It's
avoid the arrows.
unbelievable.
So you feel like you're ducking and dodging and avoiding them.
Yes.
Holy cow. It's awesome.
It is incredible. You're
Like
so
you
right.
and your heart's racing, and it's just an amazing attraction.
Yes.
And at the end, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, listen, if you haven't ridden this attraction, I'm sorry, because I might spoil a little bit for you.
He gets really excited.
The ending with the boulder, of course, from Raiders of
Right.
the Lost Ark
That's
is just the perfect ending to that attraction.
it. Really is.
It's so good. It's so good. The queue is amazing, by the way.
Yes, I love the queue.
It's a great queue. It's interactive. It's like the first interactive queue Disney ever did.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
it-
cool.
you know they have a map that you can use, or like a
Right.
and you're supposed to decipher the
I know. I love that
language and
part.
hieroglyphics
That's so
and
cool.
stuff as you walk through. It's awesome. It's just a great attraction. I love it, and it's my favorite dark ride, and that's saying something
Perfect. Yeah, that is saying a lot.
and we left a lot off. We left off It's a Small World.
Yeah, we left off so much.
We left off, apparently Tower of Terror is called a dark ride.
It's really surprising.
It's dark, but I didn't expect it to be a dark ride.
Right.
Like
Like we said, Splash.
Splash Mountain, even like the old ones like Horizons, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Nemo in Epcot,
Oh, right.
Ariel, the Little Mermaid.
I know. I love that.
What is it? Voyage? No, Voyage is a show.
No.
Journey of the Little Mermaid.
Journey.
Ariel's Undersea Adventure. That's a long title.
That is really long.
Magic Kingdom, we left that off. We left off Snow White's Scary Adventure. I mean, there's Pinocchio's Daring
We
Journey.
did like an honorable mention.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. It's
Snow
like
White.
trying to just say like
Oh,
Pinocchio's
Pinocchio's
Daring
is wonderful.
Journey is just a good Mr. Toad's Wild Ride in Disneyland, which I'm sure you were going to mention.
I know. I kind of did.
Yeah, we talked about it, but
I had it on my list, but I thought it was too similar because I had already talked about it.
yeah, I mean, I totally get it. It's, what we're trying to say is
They're all
they're
great.
just so good. There's so many
Yeah,
great dark rides.
It's really, it was so good that you did this podcast because people, I think, tend to kind of dismiss them sometimes, right? For like,
yeah, like you kind of lump them in together.
what do you call them? The e-ticket rides?
Yeah, sure. Like Space
Yeah,
Mountain,
lump them together. I like how you said
Matterhorn,
that.
Big Thunder Mountain.
Right. And
Yeah.
those are all great. But don't ever forget about the dark rides because you really are going to have a great experience on them too.
As they say in the,
And they're not just for little kids. They're for everyone.
I was going to say, as the young people say, don't sleep on them.
Is that what the young people say?
Don't sleep on them, man. Don't sleep on the dark rides.
Oh, I've never heard that expression.
You ever heard don't sleep on it?
No.
Oh, well, I think I got that right.
Now you're not sure.
I don't know. Listen, I'm not young. I'm old now. Almost 40. Got like 6 months, so I'm 40.
You got some time.
Jeez, holy cow. All right, I'm not going to, gosh, if I start talking about that, we'll be here all day. So, Aves, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so
again.
much for having me.
This is a lot of fun. I see you looking at your watch because I know we have to go pick up our daughter.
I just wanted to make sure.
And by the way, we're recording this on May the 4th. So,
Oh, yeah.
May the 4th be with you.
And also with you.
Is that the answer? I put that up on Facebook today. Is that how we're supposed to answer that question?
I have no idea.
Like,
He just looked at me expectantly, you guys. So
she
that's
said,
what
and
I
also with you. But I always thought that I say May and also with you because I was raised Catholic. And
Right.
it's peace be with you and also with you. So I just assumed that's why I said it. But you weren't raised Catholic and you just said it and also with you.
No, I don't know.
So is
why.
that how you responded? I don't understand. I was going to say, May the 4th be with you always. Like, that's a good response to it. But Anyway, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Ear to There Disney podcast. Thank you once again to my co-host, to my wife actually, for being on the show. So Ames, thanks again. And thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's always fun to have Ames on the show because we can kind of go back and forth and argue with each other. Although we didn't argue on this one. I think we were pretty much in sync. So thank you again for listening. We both really appreciate it. And all I ask is if you did enjoy the episode, please just share it with someone. You know that awkward moment when you're picking up your food at a drive-thru and you get to the window and your food's not ready and you're just kind of staring at the person waiting? There's that awkward silence, right? You don't know what to talk about. Now you can say, hey, do you like Disney? Do you like Disney World? Do you like Disneyland? Well, then you are in luck, my friend. Do I have the podcast for you? I like to imagine that conversations actually go like that somewhere. And if they do, please mention the Ear to There Disney podcast. I really appreciate it, and thank you in advance. All right, just remember, there will be a new episode of the Ear to There Disney podcast each and every Monday, as well as a second episode of the podcast, either a It's a Food World or a Word of the Week each and every Wednesday. So until next time, thank you again so much for listening. Have just an amazing, amazing week. Spring is here. It's beautiful outside. Get out there and let your allergies go crazy. Thanks again for listening. Bye-bye.